Okay, everyone, what we have here is a clone of John Wick. Now, what I have here on the left is my John Wick Chapter 4 Mafex figure, which is my only official Mafex figure for John Wick. And the figure to the right over here is a John Wick Chapter 2 math figure. And this is a bootleg version of the John Wick Chapter 2 Mafex figure. And I got this off of AliExpress. And you can see that the packaging, if you weren't aware, is very deceiving in how they are putting out the figure to make it appear as though it's Mafex. I've seen a lot of people been getting some bootleg figures from AliExpress. I've got this one, and I've got, I believe it's the CT Toys brown suit Wolverine is en route. And I've been seeing Sir Dork on YouTube purchase several bootleg type figures, and it just kind of piqued my curiosity. Also, I want to say Action Displays channel. I might have that wrong, but I'll have a link to both of their YouTube channels in the description. They make pretty good content, and I enjoy watching them. And but yeah, let's get into this. So as you can see, this gives off the presentation that it's a Mafex figure, but it is definitely not. I've been dying to crack this open, but I haven't had an opportunity just yet. What I'm going to do is show you the figure in its packaged form, and I'll pull it out of the clamshell and just get some initial thoughts on it. And then I'll stop the video and kind of mess around with the figure for maybe a day or so just to see how it is. I already knew going into this that the head sculpt was probably going to be pretty bad, but I only paid, I think, $22 for this. And it's a static. It looks like that dog has no articulation, might around the neck area, if you can see. But the weapons alone, if they're worth it, if they're good, would have been worth the price that I paid for the whole package. And yeah, so in the front, you have John Wick right there. You have the John Wick 2 Chapter 2 logo. You've got where it looks like it's a Mafex. They got the MAF rather than MAFEX, number 85. You got the side right here. You got the back right here. Let's see if we can zoom out just a little bit. You got the back right there. I am hoping there's a hand in there with the pencil. I am hoping that, because I'm hoping I could possibly utilize that hand on my official one. Here are the weapons right here. That's what the head sculpts look like. I would be anxious to see if this is the same pictures on the official release. There is the side right there. There is the top. There is the bottom. Flip it this way. And let's crack it open and just get an initial thought on it in the clamshell. Like I said, I've had this for a couple of days. Might even be close to a month. And just haven't had the opportunity to crack it open. I wonder if they have a stand in here too, now that I'm thinking about it, because all of Mafex come with a stand. There is no stand. So that's what it looks like in the clamshell right there. The back, that's what it looks like in the front. Oh yeah, that head sculpt's a little shaky right there. So let's peel this off. And get an idea of what it looks like outside of this clamshell. Trying to open it without everything flying in different places. So here we go. what it looks like right off the bat. Several hands, the guns. So I'm gonna stop the video, get it out of its packaging. I'm gonna mess with it for about a day, and then we'll come back and resume and get some thoughts on this. All right, be back. Okay, everyone, I had a chance to open up the figure, mess around with it for a little bit, and it is not very good at all. I will state that I was hoping the weapons would work. They are extremely too small. They are more for 4-inch or 3 3/4 size figures. But I will show you that shortly. The head sculpts, of course, I knew they were going to be quite gruesome, and they are. So let's get right into this. So here is the official John Wick right there. And here is the math John Wick right there. We'll look at this head sculpt as well right fast. And the beard looks like a Sharpie got a hold of it. So you have, let's see, that one. And we'll compare it. Let's see if we can get this to focus in. So there's that. So let's go ahead and get the dog out of the way. This was the thing that kind of worked the best. I already knew that the gun, it was going to be down to the guns and the dog. The dog is pretty static. You do have some movement right here in the head area. It does have a nice sculpt. It appears that this arm and this leg would move because there's a cut. However, I don't want to force it, but it's fused together, or it might not even move at all. And those were just parts that were put on. So, dog scales with the official John Wick, about that much. With the great value John Wick, about like that. So, I mean, the dog can be used in some photography, so that's somewhat of a win with this figure. It does come with several hands. So these hands are very small compared to the official type version. Let me see if you can. So even the fingers, I'm trying to get, oops. Even the fingers are much more slimmer, as you can tell right there. So you got this open palm one right there. Got a closed fist. And it's got the holes for the pegs on the hand to go in. Got a closed grip for like a knife or something. Or maybe you could try to put this other gun in. No, the handle is way too big. Yeah, that's not going in there. We'll come back to that. Got another closed fist right there. Next time I do one of these, I might need some tweezers to hold some of these hands up so you can get a better idea of their size. Another open palm. And here was the pencil hand that I was hoping would work. Let's see. And then they have the eraser down and the pointed end up. So there's that. Not very impressive at all. Let's take a look at these weapons right fast. So you've got this smaller pistol right here. And these are small. If you collect the 4-inch or 3 3/4 G.I. Joes, that is the size of these weapons. I mean, they are extremely small and skinny. Then you have this one right here. Now, the sculpt on this is pretty impressive. It'll go good with my smaller scale G.I. Joes. But definitely not for this. And then the ribbon, aka the sling, it looks like it's just glued on that front pickaninny rail right there, and then glued back there on the stock. So just extremely small. And then you got this pistol right here, which I have in his hand. And I mean, it is very small. Even the barrel, I'm trying to get it where there's no way you're going to fit any muzzle accessories in there. So let's get the gun out right there. And before we do any type of articulation and me showing you that, let me show you the shotgun in his hand. See how small that is? I mean, it is little. And it's weird how on the camera it's given the skin pigment like a yellowish tint. Like he's from The Simpsons or something. All right, let's try this one. And you can see it is so loose in there. Where I forced the pistol in, his trigger finger is now kind of stretched out, and the grip for the rifle is just so loose in there, it just won't even stay now. So we're done with the guns. The guns are not going to work. So this is the figure right here. Compare it with the official. Again, I knew what I was getting when I ordered this. I knew what I was getting into. If anything, this can be just a generic suited figure. You could put another head sculpt on it for toy photography. But I knew exactly what I was getting when I ordered it. I hope the CT Toys Wolverine bootleg is a little bit better. But I think after that, I'm pretty much over testing out the bootlegs. So there we go right there. I don't know the names of all the points of articulation. I know some reviewers know it like a surgeon. That is not me. So there is the head right there. I do like that head movement down. Can you look up? I can look up pretty good. I do like the head movement on that neck, and it's on there. Let's see if we can get this off. All right, so there is the hole, and both heads have that peg system inside of it. So it is somewhat of a tight fit. All right, so the arms come up to about right there. About right there. Got movement, and I guess you call that swivel. The drop down in the shoulder area. And you can see, I wish I had a flashlight to show you. You can see that jointed area just looks atrocious. Let's see if we can, no, I can't. And his jacket is very hard compared to the official one. It's not, you know, very palatable, I guess you would call it. But there's the movement there, the movement there. I have noticed some paint rub already, which I'll show you here shortly. And the elbow comes in pretty good. So you get that on the elbow. But you can see right there, I'm already getting paint rub on that elbow joint area. So that's a little sad. But again, it's going to be covered up when you move the arms back up. And again, this could be just a generic figure. You do have some paint rub coming from the tie right there, bleeding onto the white shirt. Got movement there in the pelvic area. You got waist swivel right there. Now, one of my legs seems to be a little bit longer than the other one because you see the gap a little bit more pronounced right there. That is because, you know, it has the drop down hips, and this one just wants to come out, and it did come out earlier, and I will show you that. I'll pull it off intentionally here momentarily, just to give you an idea. The hands are on that swivel, and it's got a little peg system right there so that you can attach each one of the hands on there. You cannot bend the leg back hardly at all. Let me see if you can see right there. I think it's because of that cut right there. But as soon as you start, you get some gappage right there. So no movement back with the legs. Here is the knee area. And this is another spot where, well, I thought I had some paint rub. Let me see. No, I do not. Okay. So the knee bends pretty good. And there is no paint rub. And then the foot, this swivels a little bit. It's got monster toe joints right there, which I look for that to wear over time, and you're pretty much not going to have this standing up very well. Let's see if we can pull this off. All right, so to give you an idea, there is the leg joint, and then there is the connection port. So there's that. And this is a little tough to get back on there, as you can tell. Let's try to get that on there. There we go. Had to put some oomph in it. So let's stand him up next to the official John Wick. And I wish I had one of his gun holding hands on there. But what we can do, just to see, that is just so small. But the sculpt on it looks pretty good. So there we have the official version and the clone version. So that is my review of the AliExpress John Wick, I would say don't buy it. The only thing worth salvageable is having a generic suited figure in the background of some figure and the dog. Other than that, all the accessories, the head sculpts, they're pretty much trash. The joints are definitely going to wear out over time. And it definitely sucks that you already got some serious paint rub coming out as soon as you open the figure. But again, I knew what I was getting. So if you're wanting a generic looking John Wick, head over to AliExpress. But I would suggest you don't. Just save up, get the official version, or spend your money elsewhere. All right, later.